Tonight on J-Lo's Garage. We got one monster of a show for you.
I gotta try this.
We do a deep dive into the fascinating history of trucks.
You don't know anything.
Or try anyway. Talk a little trash.
This show, much like this garbage truck, is high-tech.
And even take out some trash.
Next time, pay your bill, buddy.
Plus, we'll get an exclusive look at the futuristic new electric VW everyone's buzzing about.
This doesn't operate like a normal old-school Volkswagen. I don't smell gas.
Actually, I do smell gas.
Sorry about that.
And see if one incredible high-tech car feature can get us all in the mood, if you know what I'm talking about. So grab a little snack,
I love pizza and tacos.
No, I like this monster can.
and we'll try our best not to wreck the place. See, this is why we can't have nice things.
Is this where we make the smooth exit?
Yeah,
that you always-
yeah.
All right.
Now, I'm on my way to the airport to pick up my good friend, Tim Allen. Today, we're going to discuss the history of trucks. You know, normally on a show like this, when we talk about the history of something, you have two historians that are well-versed on the subject. Nah, that's not what's happening. This is going to be the history of trucks as told by two morons. Ah, here he is. Tim, hop in.
Thanks for picking me up, Jay.
Yeah, no problem.
This isn't flammable, is it? How are you?
Good to see you.
You may know my good friend of me, Tim Allen, best from, of course, Home Improvement, his roles in various mega movie franchises, or as the ever-lovable Mike Baxter on the hit show Last Man Standing. Oh, and look who's with him.
For the love of God, let's drive cars.
Personally, I remember him best from all the times I've beaten him on this show.
What? Not even close.
But while his first love may be fast cars, apparently Tim's always had a soft spot for trucks.
We're going to talk about the history of trucks today. I know you're a big truck guy, right?
Now, there's a book I have. I've had it since I was a kid. I read it at my grandma's house. It's called The Big Book of Trucks.
The Big Book of Trucks, yeah.
And I read that all my life as a kid. Every time I went to my grandma's house.
You think at the age you are now, you would have finished it?
No, I've still got one more chapter to go.
Oh.
Now it all makes sense that you come get me in a cool old truck.
Oh, and not just any truck, Tim. It's the beginning of our history of trucks, as told by two morons. And the honor of the first truck ever goes to Germany's Gottlieb Daimler in 1896. But it's really Henry Ford who gave trucks the big push, thanks to the huge success of the Model T and the Model A.
This is the 1931 Model A Ford wagon, or depot hack was a term that was used. But a depot hack was used for strictly utilitarian purposes, to pick up luggage or to take people a short distance, made from the train station to their mountain resort or to the beach or something like that.
In fact, with its wooden carriage and sturdy steel chassis, both the Model T and the Model A versions of the depot hack set the style standard for early trucks from the teens to the early 1930s. Back in 1931, this would have cost you about $625, which would be about $12,000 today. If you want this version, though, it'll cost you about $40,000.
Tim, let's take a ride over to your shop, because you've got a truck that is one of my all-time favorites. This is the coolest truck I've ever seen.
Now, the 1930s really shook things up because trucks started looking less like wagons on wheels and more like sleek and highly stylized icons of industry. And as the industry grew, so did the need for consumer goods to go great distances. Which brings us to Tim's 1939 Studebaker K30 sleeper cab.
It's a really good-looking truck, Art Deco design. I mean, look at this. There's no reason for this to be a streamlined design other than pure style.
You don't know anything. I don't know. Where'd you come up with
just
that?
telling you.
That was such a great reach.
I had to come up
And
with
I
an
went,
answer.
I went, wow, yeah.
Simple people are easy to fool.
Studebaker, is that a guy?
No, Studebaker brothers started this company. They built Conestoga wagons. They're the ones that allowed people across the United States to make that big migration. So the step into motorized vehicles, the next step, really didn't seem that outrageous.
Nor did their foray into pickup and commercial trucks in the 1930s. And Studebaker's K30 sleeper cab once sat at the forefront of the American trucking industry. Now its 102 horsepower straight-six Hercules engine wasn't much on speed, but it had more than enough power to help keep early American truckers moving goods day and night in comfort, thanks in part to that cozy bed tucked just behind the cabin here. And its current value of $200,000 could really gone a long, long way back in 1939.
Well, let's take this thing for a ride.
It's difficult.
I'll drive.
Really?
Sure.
He taught me how to drive it. This is like the MacGuffin here. I couldn't even get it out of the driveway because
It's a smash box. There's no synchros up or down.
I know nobody in the world knows what that means, but I did understand that.
You just gotta find the gear in there. You gotta picture like this.
And you, whoa, God,
Get in the car.
It actually scared me. And then you just wander away when you're talking to him.
And if that kind of said, Mavis!
Sounds like me after oatmeal.
Well, he's not wrong there, because shifting on the Studebaker's crash gearbox definitely takes some practice. That's because a crash gearbox uses straight-cut gears, which are stronger, as opposed to the far more efficient but weaker helical gears found in modern cars. But they require the engine and drive shaft speed to be matched before a gear can be engaged. If the speed doesn't match the drive shaft, gears will grind and crash together, hence the name. So the speed has to be matched by feel alone before a gear can be engaged. Definitely not for the novice. And that's where, well, that's where I come in.
You know, it's funny, back in the old days, guys would bond with the machine because they would understand it better than anyone else.
Right.
And they would know, oh, I'm shifting it wrong. Or, hey, no, you're doing that wrong. A little less throttle, a little more throttle.
I get to know my cars, and they have personalities to me.
Hey, you know, see, there's a fellow trucker giving us the horn.
Yeah. New modern sleepers are extremely different than this.
yeah.
I wonder what they look like inside.
Funny you should mention that. To the future, and the future of sleeper cabs. And once you lay your eyes on the Ritz-like luxury, the 2022 Kenworth T680, you'll wonder how it could ever have been any other way. And that's because for about $300,000, the Kenworth's inside living space is loaded with plenty of modern conveniences, and it's big enough to be considered a bachelor apartment. And while you're snoozing in style between long hauls, you may just forget you're sleeping inside a 510 horsepower, 12.9 liter behemoth.
Well, you got every amenity in this thing. Look at this.
I'm shocked.
This is $3 grand a month in New York.
Why do they put fentanyl in cans? When did that start?
Look how much more vehicle you get. For your money.
I'm shocked.
You could pay this for a Porsche. But you know, this is a brand new truck. We skipped the whole era. Let's go back to the 50s. I want to drive that, what is it, FR100 of yours?
Yes.
Yeah, come on, let's do that. Let's give that thing a shot. This is a very, what do you see this thing?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Now, Tim and I will resume our tutorial a little bit later, but first, if you thought the Studebaker was a stubborn old mule, we see the next beast we're going to tackle.
I'm here in Anaheim, California. It's something called Monster Jam. If you're not familiar with that,
Let me fill you in. Monster truck craze began way back in the 1970s with legendary names like driver Dennis Anderson and his Goliath-sized truck known as the Gravedigger. When the Monster Jam circuit began in 1992, they made the jump into the big time, and it's currently a thriving multi-million-dollar industry. While crushing cars was once pretty cool, today, Monster Jam drivers have definitely taken monster truck racing and freestyle competition to all new heights.
and soon will be 45,000 people in these stands to watch it. And one of the reasons they're here to watch it is because of my next guest. She is just a killer driver. Her name is Kayla Blood, and yes, that's her real name.
She's the first competing female driver for Monster Jam's Soldier Fortune racing team and has appeared not once, not twice, but 4 times in the Monster Jam World Finals. And today,
She's going to show me how to drive one of these things.
I wonder where she could be. Oh, there she is.
I got to try this. Don't tell my wife. Oh, jeez. Hope she's okay.
Woo, that was fun.
Oh, she got out of the car, so I guess she's okay.
Oh, yeah.
This is why it pays to have a giant crane around at all times. And like that, we're good to go. Let's get down there and check in on Kayla.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hey, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more clips, previews, and compilations of things we've done on the show. So check it out.